Hello guys, in this video we'll learn about log-free data structures in Rust. In an ongoing effort on my channel, where I would say every 6th or 8th video, I try to make on async or concurrent programming and unpack the complex treasures of Rust. Now in past we have talked about logs, sandsinc, channels, atomic types, but in most of those videos, the data structures we are using, especially for cross-thread operations, either require locks or atomic types. But again, atomic types that we just talked in previous videos for lock-free access by default comes with either Boolean, usize, or types that are not too complex structures like queues or arrays. So in this video, we'll specifically focus on lock-free data structures where you have complex data structures like queue, arrays, and stuff. So without further ado, let's dive into it and let's start. And as we start, there is a link to my Discord in description, so make sure you join it. And if you're new to this channel, then there should be some videos popping on your right top. Make sure to click it, watch it to uncover those secrets that we have already discussed on this channel. First, let's try to build up to our problems and actually run into those issues to better understand why do we even need log-free data structures before we even discuss. So we start very basic in the main thread and we have a vector dequeue, a double-ended growable ring buffer that allows efficient O1 insertion and removal at both front and the back. So it's often used as a queue in Rust, and we can push back, we can push front, and we can also pop from back and front. Pretty straightforward, nothing spaghetti or fancy here. And if we just try to run this, pretty straightforward. It's just push 1, 2, and then since we are popping from the front and we push 2 at the front, so it prints 2. Let's take a step further and share our queue across multiple threads. We are using mutex for locking and arc for atomic reference counting for sharing the ownership across multiple threads. We have discussed in detail in previous videos, should be popping somewhere on right top. So here we have a queue producer and queue consumer. One thread is producer here, which is basically pushing at the back, and another thread, which is the consumer here, is basically popping out. And we just wait for both threads to end, and that's our program basically. Let's go ahead and try to run this. Ideally, this should work fine. We are able to pop the pushed values. So producer is pushing and consumer is popping, and we are able to push and pop successfully. So if you have been using logs in Rust or any other programming language, or even we were taught in our school, wherever you do logs, there is a chance of deadlocks as well. And same goes here. So let's say to simulate a heavy task, what we do is we just try to sleep for some time and we add some duration here, maybe around I would say 5 seconds, and you can see how easy can we run into deadlocks. Now we just print all values pushed, and so we have all values pushed, then there is a sleep, and then we have our consumer, which is waiting to acquire the lock so it can pop the values. And let's go ahead and run this. We missed it. Okay, and okay, all values pushed, nothing is popped because the lock is still acquired, and after 5 seconds what happens is we see a pop. So basically it's kind of a deadlock where producer is holding on the lock and the values have been pushed, but consumer cannot still consume because the lock is already acquired. So as you can see how easy it is to mess up with locks and mutex, especially when dealing with such complex data structures. Now let's go ahead and see what is the solution where we can go lock-free and avoid such conditions. Go to your cargo terminal file and add crossbeam or crossbeam queue, or you can simply run cargo add crossbeam or crossbeam queue. Crossbeam is like the main crate, and crossbeam queue is a sub crate or features, as crossbeam comes with tons of features, helps us with concurrent programming like queues, data structures, and even provides us channels we have discussed in a previous videos as well. I'll create another video where we'll do comparison just like we do today for standard versus crossbeam data structures, help us with how it serves us better with concurrent programming. But today, for the focus of this video, we'll only discuss data structures. And few quick changes in our code. Instead of vec queue from the collections, standard collections, now we are using sec queue, which is a unbounded multi-producer, multi-consumer queue. And everything else remains same since we are using still doing the cross-thread operations. So we are using arc to share the ownership, and locks are gone. As you can see, the code is more clean. There is no locks now, and everything remains as it is. Let's try to run this. And see, we can simply do cargo run. As you can see, we have our values popped out. Now this is exactly the same which was happening when we were using locks as well, but what we did additional was we add a sleep here for some duration to simulate a heavy operation and cause some kind of a deadlock for locks. And right here we added print saying all pushed. And now if we try to run this, there you go, all pushed, popped as well, and now it's waiting. So basically our values got pushed, popped as well immediately, and the producer was still blocking, but consumer has no care for that. Like consumer was able to consume it and even finish its work, while producer was still, you know, doing some heavy lifting, some operation which we just simulate with some time here. Similarly, just like sec queue, we have array queue here, which is basically a bounded multi-producer, multi-consumer. So you have to, you know, like tell the size as well, like how much capacity. So let's say 2 or 3, whatever the capacity you want to add. So there are different other queues as well in this which work on different algorithm, but the concept remains the same. You can use it lock free across the threads. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys understand, learn something new. If you do like the video, share with your friends. I'll catch you guys in another video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye.